Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope everyone is well. Karina, good morning to you. So let's have a look. It's looking for a lower high here. See if this comes down. Let's have a look. Market is just open, so I'll have just to leave this a second. So my accounts have changed a bit. I've lost a few, picked a few evaluations. I had a rough week last week. I've been struggling a little bit to sort of keep that sort of calmness. Things went really well sort of March, and then I started taking a few losses, and it messed with me head a little bit. So I've had a bit of time off just to clear my head a little bit. I've done a little bit of studying and just a little bit of focusing just to make things a little bit better. So hopefully we have a better week this week. I feel a little bit calmer and a bit clearer, so fingers crossed. So channel break, new high. I was looking for a lower high there. Trouble is it's quite close to EMA, and market was just open when I was looking at it. It never triggered anyway, then it did, but I suppose you could have taken that one, but I just want to give this a little bit of time. I'm not sure whether there's any type of a bigger channel, so we'll see how we get on today anyway. So let's have a look. Okay, so market is open. It's definitely calmed down a bit. The ATR is lower. I am still on a micro at the moment. I'm trading 4, so 2 legs back, big bullish bar. See if we get a higher low. I mean, we've had a bounce in, we've had a bounce here. It's quite a big bar though, so I just want to give that a bit of time. It's played out, so there is a failure as well there. Big bullish bar. I think that's likely going to get stopped out. It's very tempted there. I just don't like the way it closed there, so I stayed out of that. It hasn't broken below there yet. I think it probably will. See if we can get a second entry here. Okay, there's a lower high there, but the bar's naff. Yeah, what I've done is this thing down the bottom where you can see the little adverts floating by. I've just added everything into that. I just found it was just a little bit distracting, I think. So if you look, everything I had on here is in that little box now. So it just makes it a little bit clearer. So this is probably going to break below there. It's a bit congested here though, so I'm leaving it alone. But I did kind of look at that. It is a second entry long failure, but I just don't like that wick, and it sent it sideways a bit, but I think it worked for a series of points. So if you got in there, it's gone down for 6 points, maybe just a bit less. But I think really if you like that one, you might have been better off waiting for a limit order and catching that. But yeah, I feel I just wanted a little bit of fresh start. You know, I look at people like Wilson, and I look at people like Nutty, and I look at people like Alpine. They're making money, good money, but they're still blowing accounts. So when your emotions get the better of you, it's not necessarily the end of the world. You know, you still got to kind of move on. So I really let it affect me, which is unusual because I got away from a lot of that. So, but it's just one of those things, innit? You just got to kind of move on. See if we get a second entry shorty. I'm not taking that. Looks like it might work, but it's a little bit congested there, so see what happens. I don't know whether this thing's going to come down or whether there is a larger channel. There could be a larger channel. Let's put that there and just see what happens. So there is a second entry short there, but I'm a bit unclear. If it is bouncing off here, it could push up. So I'm guessing that's going to get stopped out. But how much further is it going to go? Is it going to bounce off here? So are you still going for 5 points? I'll tell you. I've got mine. Yeah, 5 points, which is a bit less than ATR. Now, the ATR usually floats around the 2.5 to 3.5, and I go for 3 points and get some success out of it. So I think 5 points with the ATR nearly at 7 is not unrealistic. But yeah, I am still on the micros. Once that gets around about 4, I'll move back over. I just think really what I'm finding is I'm missing a few key elements to my trading. Now, my trading skill I think is okay. I'm pleased with. It'll improve with time. I think my discipline's okay. I clearly have an issue with taking losses. So, I mean, I notice, a lot of the people in the in Dan's forum and that are still trading the mini. The trouble is, even on one contract with their ATR around about the 7, I'm still risking $350, and I think that's too much. What I've sort of concluded is, if you're going on tilt and you're having problems with that, you're clearly risking a bit too much money. So instead of going for 1 micro and risking, say, 350, I'm going for 5 micros and risking, say, 175, which I think is a better number. I mean, what I will say is, if I was risking $5 on every trade, I wouldn't be going on tilt. A loss wouldn't bother me. So it makes perfect sense to just reduce that a little bit. And I think, with time and consistency comes self-belief, confidence, and then maybe you can sort of pop it up. You did right. We need to adapt. You do. Yeah. That's the one thing about trading. I think you do have to sort of, as you say, you do have to adapt to market conditions, and market conditions are a bit, they have, calmed down considerably. But I think it's still important. It's very easy to risk a little bit too much. You get a loss. Now, bear in mind that ATR is just over 6.5. It wouldn't be unusual to risk 9 points. $450 on one contract. Too much. And the more you risk, the more of that effect has on you. So look at this. So that they're risking, there's $425 I'm risking there on one contract. It's too much. So channel down there, maybe a small break, 2 pushes to a new low. I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm not sure whether I've got a bigger channel or what. I think really I should probably delete that at the moment. We got a channel up there with a break, 1, 2 pushes to a new high. This to me looks like it may be coming back into a range. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm looking at people like Nutty and all that. They're all trading micros. So at the end of the day, as long as you can make money on micros, there's no reason we're taking them. But I've got to say, micros have a lot more flexibility. I can go from 1 contract to 2 contracts to 3, but with micros, 110 for the size. So, So, see what happens here. Then we may have a small break there. So this now may trap a short and push up. I'm not sure. If there is a bigger channel, there is a possibility this could push up. So it's very tempting to take that. It's in the right place, but if we have got a break, it may trigger it and push up. There is a bullish bar and a higher low there. It does look like it's going to work. Certainly drop below that one anyway. Okay, so it did work. I don't think it's a terrible trade. It is a bit congested, but the way I've got this, there may be a small overshoot, and sometimes I've been caught out in that before. I've missed it, and it's triggered me and pushed up. I mean, we've got a kind of a bullish bias at the moment. Now this is coming down further. That may be changing, but let's see about. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. S. Are you still? Yeah. I don't know. I just seem to fall apart. I was now, luckily, as you can see there, my bigger accounts. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 7 accounts over the threshold, the 2,600 threshold, and those accounts I've had payments. But I had a bunch of other accounts around the 6 to 1,200. I just ended up blowing. I don't know. I just seem to slip. So, I think you've just got to try and process it and move on, haven't you? It's never going to change overnight. It's going to get better and better. But I know what I was saying. When I look at people like Wilson, now I saw Wilson blowing account after account after account, making a bit of money. Then last year, I think he ended up 40 or 50,000. He had some big payments, maybe a bit more than that. So, sometimes you still go on tilt a little bit, but you hold it together longer and your trading's better and you start to make money. But if I look at Nutty as, I think his expenses are about 13, 14, 15,000. You might think that's crazy, but he's made over 70, so he's still 60,000 up. And we've only had 3 months. $60,000 for 3 months is bloody good. And Nutty is no different from most other traders. He still blows accounts, but he's got enough skill and enough discipline at the time. Why has everything gone dark all of a sudden? And enough discipline at the time to be able to pull it back. So although, we are still blowing accounts from time to time, why have you moved that way? You can still make money, so it's not the end of the world. So I'm trying not to beat myself up a bit. I don't know what's going on here. Let me go the other way. My camera's just got a mind of its own. So I'm just, accepting the fact that sometimes, don't you dare, it keeps moving. Damn things follow me. I switched it off, that follow thing, the other day. I can't remember how to do it now. That might have done it. Just move over a bit. You're only seeing half me. That shouldn't move now. There we go. That's a bit better. There we go. So yeah, even though Nutty and Alpine and that are still blowing accounts, they're still making a ton of money. So, if things go bad from time to time, I'm going to try and not let it get to me too much. YouTubers, they make shows about keeping blowing accounts. Yeah, but they still making money, so it can still be done, even if you, I've another guy that Artie that comes in here from time to time. He sent me some trader affirmations a while back, and I can't remember what I did with them, but he resent them out. And it just kind of, I don't know, the types of affirmations where they kind of psych you up and make you believe and all this sort of stuff. So I'm just going to get into a routine of listening to those before I trade to try and get my head focused. The main part that's missing from my trading is the ability to accept losses. If I can do that, I'm on my way. So every time I lose something, I get a bit more and more frustrated. I get a bit more sick of it. So I'm getting to that point where I'm just starting to realise you just cannot play games in this business. You have to either do it the right way or it never works. So I'm finally starting to realise that there may be a small break there. Oh, GAT would have removed those. The trouble is, I had GAT set to I had accepted 2 losses, and I was moving me stop, so I was ending up taking $500 down. But then the following day, I'd reset GAT out of frustration and try and get it back, or I'd have a couple of new accounts and I'd remove GAT because I wanted to make an adjustment and I never put it back. So, you know what it's like. So I'm just trying to focus, and I'm just trying to just let things, try and let it be. So yeah, I mean, I haven't got it set to 1 loss at the moment, I don't think. I've got it set to 2 losses. I just wanted to try and take some control. So I'm interested here. Let me just, what I'd like to know is if anybody got that a break, or they've still got that in, because I think Thomas Wade has still got that as not a break. No, he hasn't. Thomas Wade, that is right. Okay, this is the break. This is the break down here. I've looked at the 2000 tick charts and they haven't got a break. It's too late now, unfortunately. I missed the move, but there's no way in, I don't think, there anyway. Yeah, looking at the, oh no, that's the 10,000 chart, my mistake. Just looking at Thomas Wade's quickly. That's mine, the bar there. He's got a stem there, so that fits. So this is the first break, and unfortunately, we've just had a break and it's just dropped, so it's kind of missed the boat there, but it is what it is. But you know, trading gets better and better, and it gets easier every time. You know, I blow accounts, it kind of hurts less, and I get more and more just fed up with it. So I still think I'm moving in the right direction, with just maybe a couple of natural little hiccups. So we've had a bounce here for about the 4th or 5th time. So I'd like to see another attempt higher. If we can get another attempt higher, this thing may come lower. Channel down, 1 attempt to go higher, 2nd attempt to go higher, failure. So yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes I think trading all of a sudden just changes overnight. It doesn't really. It still changes very slowly. Even when you start to make money, you know, you'll still lose it from time to time. But at least now this year, I should be able to make myself a decent wage. Now, if I'm honest, I have probably spent about, I think, about $1,700 or $800. No, more than that. I think I've spent about $3,500 to $4,000 this year so far on expenses, and I'm up about 23, 24. So I'm still up 20,000 for the first sort of 3.5 months. So I'm going to make myself a wage, and that's all I really need to be concerned with. So I should just think, look, I'm making a wage. You know, I'm working 3 hours a day maximum. Don't expect too much, and just let the kind of rest take care of itself. So we have had a bounce here, so you have got to be careful, but it is a channel down with 2 attempts to push higher. So let's just have a little look here. So we've got a channel with a break and a new high, so possibly 2 legs up. Now we have made a new low by a tick, I think. So channel break, new high. If we can get a bearish bar followed by a lower high here, from earlier. That's one break and needs a new high. Yeah, see, I'm a bit on the fence as to what I think about that. So, if just looking at Thomas Wade's, where is it? Looking at Thomas Wade's, he's got this channel with a break and a new high. So it's one of those things. I can't see anything on Dan's yet. I wish Dan had posted his channel a bit more. Mind you, he does if you ask him. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure. Just have to keep an eye on it. So, channel break new high. Big bullish bar there. I wouldn't want to be going along. Has a channel called Daily Charts right under the channel you are. Has he really? Let me have a look. Daily chart update. Oh, he has. Oh, he's got nothing on it yet. Or has he? No, he just puts... I think he had this, didn't he? It looks like he's got that. So, lower high it might not be a bad option. We've had 2 legs up, and this to me looks like it's failing.
Order submitted.
I've taken a trade on the 10,000 tick chart. I'll show you now. Here. Second entry short there. See how we get on. Channel down there, 2 attempts to push higher. 2 legs up, push below the EMA. I thought that was going to work. Doesn't look like it's going to. It's doing the complete opposite. I'll see. Yeah, it's doing the opposite, isn't it?
Order filled.
Okay, that's fine. So it happened. It's one of those things. No point moaning about it. Okay. Everything's closed. Yes. Yeah, okay. That's all right. There's no point in worrying about it. It doesn't make a difference. You just have to take a trade, 2 legs up. I actually thought that was okay. 1, 2, 3. It's one of them things. So is there a bit? See, I don't know if there's a bigger channel up here. See, it's taking me out for a tick and coming back down there anyway. Typical, isn't it? Leg up, 2 legs back. Maybe this is pushing up for the highs. Yeah, 10,000 tick chart, yeah. There's a lower high there.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Two attempts to push up. It does, on that 10,000 tick chart, looks like it's taken me out for a tick and turned. So I think it is going to come down. It's almost like a triple test. 1, 2, 3. Triple test lower high. And that will be the failure. Let's see how that failure finishes. It's not finished well. We'll get below here and here, hopefully then it will come down and test these lows. Damn it, is that a triple test to go long? Come on, drop. Come on. Channel down, 2 attempts to push higher. Come on, come down. struggling to get below there. That's my concern. Just not sure whether to get out of this. Okay, we're below there now, so fingers crossed. Let's put it there. Put it back where it was. Come on. I'm getting out of this.
Order filled.
Okay, I just don't like what it's doing. It's just going sideways. I think it's probably going to break these lows, but I'm just not so sure. Even. It hasn't broke it yet, but once it starts to go in sideways, the risk is just lower. So that looks like a triple test to go long. It's just too dangerous at the moment. It's just chopping around. So good decision to get out of it. Channel break, new high. So channel break, new high. So Dan's got this like this. Dan's got it as an overshoot. So channel break, 2 pushes, no high. Just not sure about this channel, to be honest with you. Okay, excuse me just a sec. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be a quick minute. Okay. We've had kind of 2 pushes up. Can't. Oh, it's gone dark. Okay, bear me a second. Yeah, I don't know why it's done that. It might get a bit lighter in a bit. Well, that's high, isn't it? All right, as soon as you step away from this thing, it just goes a bit funny. That's a bit better, isn't it? Keep an eye on it. That's interesting. 1, 2, 3. I was hoping for a triple test there, but the thing just dropped. Thing's going to tank now, isn't it? Tis a second entry short there, but the kind of move's already gone, I think. Trouble is, leg and a leg, leg and a leg, it could still push up. There's quite a bit of support across there, so be a bit careful there. Trouble is, we've got to move up. Could be 2 attempts to push high before we move up again. So hard to say, really. But we have still got this gap down here, so you just don't know. But a leg up, 2 attempts to push lower, and then up again. Could be something larger up there. See, we're kind of touching. So who knows? There is support across there. There was a possibility 2 legs down and a strong move up. Trouble is, looking at that 10,000 tick chart, we've got this leg up. It could be 2 moves down before a possible leg up. So I expect it to... It's hard to know whether we've come down enough. Got pretty sideways. Yeah, it kind of looks like a move up, 2 legs back and a push up. But I wouldn't want to go long here just yet, just in case. Because if we have got 2 legs down, we haven't got anywhere near a measured leg as of yet. So we're 20 points shy, I think, more or less. So it may still come down. So it doesn't always make it. I mean, there is, in fact, that's a good point, actually. There is some support across there. So it's kind of bounced in the right place. So it depends. This thing definitely got more bullish written all over it for me. It's not easy at the moment. It's just chopping. When it's like this, it's so easy. A lot of the time, the market just overtraces itself and takes out every tiny little order. I may have to go for a little bit less points. What am I going for at the moment? It's 5 points, I think. It's not unreasonable, I don't think. And the ATR is 6.7. That's like going for 2.5 points when the ATR is 3.4, which is not, you know. What, just about to say very difficult trade. Yeah, it is, mate. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, when it is like this, it's so easy to get chopped up. We have come down and broke this. Who knows whether this thing's going up or down. I mean, we have come down and we've bounced off this again. Whenever we bounce, we are pushing up, but I'd just be kind of guessing it was going to go higher. Second entry shot about here. I'm not sure at the moment because we are finding support here. We've pushed up and we've bounced here. So for me, this could go up. I don't really know, to be honest with you. I mean, it's not super clear. It is a failure. There is a short trap there, but trouble is, look, it's starting to, God knows where it's going to go. When that came down there, it did clear out a lot of liquidity here. There's probably some down there. But there'll be liquidity there and quite likely here as well. So, you know, it's hard to say. If this is a channel, we've had some pushes up and attempted a new high, but this is just unclear for me. I'm struggling to read this at the moment. Dan's got his channel like that. Thomas Wade's already got a break. He's got something like that with a break and a new high. Trouble is, you need to know which way the market's going really to trade it. In the moment, it's just going sideways. Yeah, see, Dan's got rid of this now. That's what Dan's got now. Well, that was 3 o'clock anyway. So, where are we? We're around about here, aren't we? So, he's got rid of that bigger channel now. I wasn't so sure about it, to be honest with you. Quite glad he's got rid of it. So, leg and a leg. Maybe we get a second entry short here. Tis a leg and a leg. You know, I'm tilting. I insist on it. That's definitely a better form of tilting. When I've tilted in the past, market goes up, I buy it. It's been a lot like that. So at least you've still got a strategy in mind. That's the important thing. So leg and a leg. We got a small breakout here, and we got a breakout here, which I'd expect. Still 2 legs up, so I'd like to see it fail here. Maybe take a lower high. I'd still like to see it come back to that EMA. It's gone a bit too far though. So we got a leg and a leg, a leg and a leg, a leg and a leg. See if we can get a lower high. This to me looks like it's trying to push up. Trouble is, bloody massive that. No good anyway. No, I'm on the MES, mate. I'm on the micros. So that's probably why. That ATR is still 6.5. It's just still a bit high. If it comes down to around about the 4s or close to it, I'd swap it over. It's just too much a risk at the moment. Could have a leg down, correction, followed by a leg down. It's hard to say, but we are finding some support there, so. Not easy, is it? Mm. We've kind of got a leg up, 2 legs back. I don't know. It's not easy at the moment. My guess is this is heading to test these areas up here now. Whether it gets there or not, who knows? Humour's great, mate. Yeah. Yeah. You need something. I've always liked the military humour. I have. It's kind of how they get through, isn't it? Just basically take the piss out of everything. That's how. I did a little bit of time in the reserves, but I was an army family for a long time. I had 2 dads in the army. I was fortunate enough to have 2 dads in the army, both not with us now. But yeah, they just, if in doubt, something's not right, just take the piss, and it works. Scotch and soda, yeah. In fact, it's funny you should say that. I was just thinking about scotch now. I've got a bottle of red wine cask Jura, which I bought a few days ago downstairs. Hold tight, 1 minute. Okay, I gone light again. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, cheers everyone. Let's have a look what's going on here. Is this thing going up? It does look like it, to be fair. Kind of add 1, 2. You may call that a triple test. It's an inside bar, so I wouldn't be interested in it. But it does look like it's pushing up to test these highs. It's just not easy at the moment. Trouble is, it is an inside bar. It depends what you're looking at it. Now, if you're looking at the 2000 tick chart, it might not look so bad. I certainly wouldn't go short here. It's slowly working up. Now, whether it comes to a standstill here or not is hard to say. I mean, we're clearly going sideways at the moment, but you just don't know when it's going to turn. This could continue on up. It could take a pullback here. It's just, you can't tell at the moment. You're just going to have to sit out a lot of this. It's just generally chopping up and down. And it's so easy to get battered, actually. I wish I'd have taken that, actually. At the time, I had that as a small break. But we kind of had a channel up here, so at the time, it just wasn't feasible. Now it kind of makes sense, but that's the difference with marking a chart. If I look at this chart now, I'd mark that as a trade. It is a second entry short. Clearly, you got a bull bar there, and you got a higher low. You're triggering it. Chances are it's going to stop those two out, and it did exactly that. But at the time, if you got a channel working up here, you ain't thinking about going short. So that's the trouble. So in real time, there's not much you can do. You know, is that the channel? Is that it's one of those things. It's hard to tell. You could bring that out to there, that come down to there. I think we had it there at a time. So would you go short there? You wouldn't really. But then once you get rid of that, all of a sudden at the end of the day, it looks very different. So that's the thing, Mac marks things at the end of the day, and he marks trades like that. And yeah, when you know what happened, it's kind of easy to see that. Now, we know we've got a bit of support up here. You can see it a couple of times there, and then we had a little breakout and it came back there, and whether we're doing that here or not, but it's just not easy at the moment, is it? And that's the problem. See, when you're down a little bit, the tendency is to want to take a trade. I'm not really feeling in a rush to take a trade at the moment, and that's the best kind of way to be, really. I'm not thinking about going long here at the moment. The issue I have with this is we're touching the tops nice, but now look, the last twice we've pushed up, we're struggling to get much higher than that. We're grinding out here. Now, that may not make a difference, but to me, it's getting a little bit choppy at the top. We're finding some support, and we're struggling to move higher. So for me, I'm not thinking about trading here. Now, you can call that a failure. 2 legs up, bearish bar triggered, and it may work, but the fact is we're finding it difficult to get above there, and we're coming away from the top of that channel. So just for that very reason, it's just not worth taking it. Bill, how you doing, bud? Not too bad. Yeah, prices. I've had some ups and downs on what I have. It's kind of last week, really. I had 3 good months. I'm up a nice bit. Well, I'd say realistically, I've probably spent 4,000 in it since the start of the year in evaluations and PAs. But you may consider that I'm up nearly 20,000 for kind of January, February, March. So that would give around about 80,000, even 60,000. I'd be pleased with. It's a wage. And that's what's important. It's overall what you make. You might have a good day and a bad day, but it's just getting through that your head, isn't it? Michael, how you doing, buddy? Great to see you trading this. How many accounts do you have at the moment? You can see them over on the right. So I have 9 PAs at the moment and 3 more passed. I lost a bunch of them last week. I just went through a stupid phase. I don't even know why. The trouble is in this business, when you get frustrated and you can feel that frustration, the best thing to do really is just to stay away from the charts. Easier said than done. You could say that's a triple test. So I don't think that's a bad trade, to be honest with you. You've got to be a bit careful here because it is choppy. It's just too big now. We're close to the highs. Me too. Lost some ground. Yeah, do you know what I think it is, mate? I think it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Big, strong buying off there, so that may take it higher, but I'm not going along into all this lot. Absolutely. This kind of job, you're always learning, aren't you? And what I will say is you're always going up very slightly. You're making a slight incline. Occasionally you're going to have these little trips and stumbles, aren't you? But, every day we sit in front of these charts, we're improving. And, your emotions, you're getting used to it. And, so we're all aiming in the right direction, but it is a slow journey, isn't it, really? But, I made $26,000 last year. I made $8,000 the year before, or 12, something like that. I think it was 12, actually. 26 last year. I'm up $23,000 already in the first 3 months. So it's an improvement on last year. If I can hit 60,000 even over the year, taking away, expenses, that's $48,000. The average wage in the UK is $33,000. So even $60,000, and I've got another, 9 months, 8.5 months to do it. I can still earn a really good wage and only work 3 hours a day. And if every year I improve, 12,000 the first year, 26 the second year, even 60 the third year, if I can get into the hundreds next year, I've got no problem with that. I've given up the idea of trying to push it and trying to rush too much because, it's funny, isn't it? We've all heard the saying that it's not a get rich quick. But the trouble is, when social media is full of people earning huge amounts of money, it's very, very hard not to get blinded by the almighty dollar and just think money, money, money. You know what I mean? Yeah, I do trade full time now. Yeah, yeah. I earn enough now I get some from affiliates. I'll be honest with you, I probably average around $1,200 per month. Patrick Wayland averages around $20,000 per day affiliates. So I'm small fry, but it does help with my costs. So I'm lucky in that sense. But yeah, Patrick Wayland, $20,000 a day. Oh my God, I mean, like, from affiliates, that's unbelievable. I remember when I heard that, I was shocked, in disbelief, to be honest with you. $20,000 a day. 2 days, that's the equivalent of the average wage in the UK, and he earns that in 2 days. Unbelievable. Not true. It's marketing that sell them courses, yeah. It is crazy, really. See, I don't think that was a terrible place to buy for 2 reasons. One, we've had a triple test, and my guess is price is coming up to test this. The trouble is with that, from a Pat's point of view, it's right into the highs and it's a big bar. But from, a trader's point of view, thinking, okay, we've had this push up, we've had a couple of attempts, and now we're moving up. I don't think it was a place if you want to go. I think your stop's pretty safe there. But it's not my type of trade, really. But usually we've 1, 2, call that 3 or 4. We've come back and bounced a few times, and I think we needed to come back, maybe clear out any little bits of liquidity or something like that, and then buyers. If you want to buy this market higher, this is the place to buy, isn't it? I think Wayland, deranged Florida man. He's definitely a character, isn't he? But the ironic thing is, he doesn't even you can't even see his trades. So I understand if someone's a great trader and making a ton of money, and he shows you his trades, because I guarantee there'll be loads of people there quite happy to pull the trigger when he does and get out when he does. But okay, so I started. Will be 4 years. Christmas gone. So let's say 4 years and 4 months, something like that. I remember my wife bought me a book for Christmas. I think it was around about the end of lockdown. So yeah, I think I started looking at this type of thing around about December, I think. So 4 years and 3 months, something like that. 4 years and 4 months. And I started Pat's in the June. So in the June, I'll have been doing Pat's 4 years. So they did a poll actually on the Facebook group. How long did it take you to become consistent? And I think 60% was in the 4 to 6 years. So I'm kind of in the right ballpark. Because it's hard to compare trading to other people. I can't see other people's stats. If I was in a company, you might have access to other people's trading results. You may kind of have a rough picture of who's doing what and where kind of you are in the grand scheme of things. But my trading it's weird, isn't it? We don't focus too much on our progress. We focus more on our failures. And you tend to forget that, we are learning. But you tend to, it's all the negative stuff you tend to focus on. I suppose it's how human beings are built, really. So it's just one of those things. Just a quick glance at this here. We got this move up and we got 2 pushes back. Now, I was kind of hoping we'd get a little bit further, but I think we bounced in the right place there. We got a bounce about. So that trade there, or the higher low, I don't think was terrible. And it clearly looks like it's pushing up, but I think if I was going to take this, I'd be putting my stop behind that swing there to at least give me sell something. But yeah, it's not an easy business, but a lot of other I mean, if you were a doctor or something, 4.5 years as a doctor is nothing. It's a drop in the ocean. You're still in medical school. there's so much to trade. I remember hearing Max say, if you're a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, an accountant, it takes years. And I'm thinking all you're doing is looking at charts and pulling the trigger. But the more you get into it, the more you realise how in-depth this business is. And, these markets are incredibly clever, aren't they? And there's very smart people out there. And you're kind of along for the ride to a degree until you start to learn something. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with my progress with my skill. I'm still a little bit frustrated with myself because, in the cold light of day, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a loss. I'm not going to revenge trade. I'm not going to do this. And I still find myself doing it at times. Not as much as I used to. I think it's important to analyze yourself now and again. Just look and have a kind of quiet think about what you're doing and where you're going wrong. But I've been trading max strategies. No, I started off trading currency purely by accident, really. I used to do something called matched betting, which is it's just a way of making some money from the free offers and the free bets the bookmakers give you. So effectively, what you do, you use a piece of software. We've had a break and a new high there. And for instance, let's say Betfair or Betfred. Say you bet £10 of your own money and we'll give you a £50 free bet. Effectively, what you do is you do a bet for £10, say Liverpool to win. And then you use a betting exchange to bet against that. So effectively, one cancels the other one out. You don't make and you don't lose any money, but then you get the free bet. So you use a different calculation. And I did that. It's all tax-free money because in the eyes of HM government, it's gambling, although it's not actually gambling. But and then after a while, the bookmakers start realising that the only time you're doing bets is when they have offers, so they start to block you. Remove any offers. And at the time, I was, hearing a few people talk about Betfair trading sports bets. So as soon as I put trading into, got two legs up here. As soon as I put trading into a search engine, trading came up. So break new high, two legs up. So that's kind of how I started. And I was browsing YouTube and I come across a guy called Andrew Lockwood, which he's a currency trader from London. He started trading in the sort of middle 80s in the London Stock Exchange as a pit trader, and he kind of went from there. And I think early 2000s, he was in Singapore at the time, and he came back to the UK and started trading his own money. And that was my first experience of trading. I liked him because he was super clear, very well spoken. He just made things. Some people have just got a talent when it comes to teaching. It goes in one ear and stays there. And obviously, once you get into trading, you spend half your life on YouTube. And I came across Michael Chin and his sidekick, and that's kind of where. So that will be, I started in the June, so it'll be 4 years this coming June I started Pats. So we've had this move down and we've had a couple of attempts to go higher. So is this thing now coming down? It's hard to say, isn't it? I like to think it is, and if it is, then maybe if we can get a second entry short, we can kind of ride it down. That's half the battle with this, figuring out which direction the market's going in. The trouble is, learning to trade yourself is expensive. But, and I'll say again, I was very fortunate that I had the affiliate money and you guys took the time to use my code, which it just made my life so much easier. I moan about it's tough, but if I wouldn't have had that, it would have been a damn sight more tougher. So I'll always be grateful for for, you know, being able to have that. You guys don't have to use my code. Simple fact is, you can use any code. It all works the same, but, you know, if you do use mine, it really helps me out. So it's much appreciated. But my life was made a lot easier because of that. I'd hate to think how much debt I'd have been in now if it wasn't for that. Unfortunately, in fact, you know what? I was listening to David Paul over the weekend. David Paul and Tom Hugard Little. And David Paul said, which I was quite surprised. We got a channel break. Possible second entry short here.
Order submitted.
David Paul said that he thought after a couple of months you should move straight onto a live account, which surprised me actually.
Order submitted.
I was quite surprised. I'm going to put this down here because I dare say there's going to be liquidity, so I'm going for 150. You know, I was really surprised that he said that. There's going to be a hell of a lot of liquidity there, so I expect that to go. It is a second entry short. We've got a leg down and hopefully another leg down. There's a lower high possibly there as well. Trouble is, I don't want to get into a second one. I used to do that occasionally, get into another trade if I thought it was valid, but as I'm already down one now, I'm just going to sort of sit tight and let nature take its course. So leg down, hopefully a second leg down, clear all this liquidity out. But we have had a measured leg up there, 2 pushes up, so I think that's okay. So if it can break some of this liquidity, especially these, it should hit that hopefully okay. So am I going for only about 6 points, something like that, 7 points. I do like that break, big bearish bar. So I expect it to clear out a lot of that. I think that's in the right place. If it breaks below there, it'll hit that, I think, pretty quickly. So unless we get loads of buyers in here, I can't see it somehow. 2 legs down should take us down there. So we've broken below there.
Order filled.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so if you're patient, which I did the right thing, and it worked. So it just goes to show you sometimes if you just sit there patiently and just take your time, things will come to you. So what I do is we've got a breakdown there, push up, new high. We're clearly finding support up here. Then we push down. We have a bullish bar, we have a higher low, it triggers big bearish bar. So for me, this is coming down for a second leg. And if it gets below there, which I expect it to, it hit my stop. Stop, let's not say that. Let's not use the word stop. So I think that was okay, actually. I think it was an okay trade. Yeah, I think, how you doing, Chris? How you doing, bud? So you can guess there's going to be a lot of liquidity there, can't you? And it is sideways. And as we know, Trouble is, that's why it's a lot hard. I was thinking, just looking at some videos and stuff, watching a bit of Tom Hugard and so on and so forth, seeing them swing trading a lot. And I was thinking about this. The trouble is with this, it's very hard to swing trade because the market is constantly overlapping itself. You know, you took a long here for a second leg up, came down, stopped you out. Took a long here, came down and stopped you out. But eventually it does seem to overlap it. So going for bigger moves isn't always that simple. Let's say, was this a failed second entry long? Let's have a look. There's your new high there. So I don't think it was, because we've got a little break above here and a little break there. I just looked at it as a second entry short. So we got a channel down. I'm, quite convinced we've had a break and a new high and a strong move down. So there's buyers around here, see. So that pushed up there, and then we got a higher low. And as soon as it broke above it, it dropped dramatically. So for me, it was going to break that down and come down for a second leg, which it did. So I think it's more of a second entry short. That high is higher than there. That high, so there's the recount there. So I don't know. I was up 300, then down 200, now at 100. Should have stopped. Famous last words, isn't it? The trouble is, the way I see it, mate, if you see a quality setup, it doesn't matter whether you've had 2 losses or 2 wins. Really, you should probably take it. But the tendency is when we're up to not want to give it some back. And I've got to say, that's one of my pet hates. I hate giving it. I'd rather have a straightforward loss than give me money back after a trade. It feels like an extra kick in the teeth. So yeah, I wouldn't be hard on yourself. It's nice to be up on a day, isn't it? But ultimately, it doesn't really matter. If we're talking, the cold light of the day, it doesn't really matter whether you're up or down. It's more how the picture sort of progresses over the space of a month. Really the best way to trade this, certainly from my point of view, is to just trade every day, and then, a week before the end of the month, have a look at my accounts and say, okay, let's take a bit from there, a bit from there. I'm trying to not think about the almighty dollar because it does blind you a little bit. Things. It's still bloody following me. I've deleted the followy thing. Why is it still following me? Tracking. Normal tracking. No. Standard. That's better. Do you know, I think this is the market following me. I think I'm being watched. Yeah, the psychology is difficult. It is difficult. It's not easy. I might go for the gap. Yeah, it's not the easiest to read today. What I will say is I like that channel. We did have a break. We pushed up, and then we had a big rejection there. We came down, I don't know, 15 points, didn't we? Straight down, and then a pullback. So I expect another leg. Now, if you're going to swing trade, I suppose, and you think it's going to come down the low, that's as good as you can swing. But I think really swing trading tends, from my opinion, tends to come from the 15 minutes and above more. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but that's just my kind of understanding of. Trouble is with this, it overlaps itself constantly, so it's very hard to get into a position and not eventually get stopped out. So, I mean, even if you got into something like that, it's gone up 8 points, come down, stop you out. Even if you ended up channel break, new low, bouncing off here, even if you took this, went up 29 points, come down, where's it going? Chances are it's going to stop you out. So it's a bit hard to swing trade this. On some occasions where we have a big move up and then we have a really nice correction, often then, as Max says, it's in the middle of the move, and we can get a little bit more. But I am looking into trading something like this on a bigger time frame, maybe, which is why I started looking at the 10,000 tick chart. I posted a chart. I traded it on one of the days last week. I think it was Friday. Let me see if I can find the chart. And I took 3 trades and they all worked. Now, I took them on the sim, unfortunately, which is bloody typical. There, that's it there. So I took that. I think it was it Friday or Thursday or Friday? Now, all I did was run them down to the bottom. So this is a 10,000 tick chart. We've got to move down 2 legs up, perfect second entry short, and it came down lovely. That one I thought was okay. That one I took, and that one I took as well. 2 legs up, bearish bar, and it worked. It eventually came down and hit the tick. So let me just find the other chart. So that's the 10,000 tick chart for the day. But look how easy that is to read. Now, granted, at the moment it's choppy, but look at that. Channel down, perfect second entry short, and you may even say that's a triple test. Worked beautifully. Channel up, break, new high, bearish bar, longs trapped. That came down, and all I did was ride it down to the lows. Exactly the same scenario. Channel break, new high, bearish bar, worked to the lows, and I think that was the one that I recorded. Channel break, new high, bearish bar, kind of longs trapped here, and that came down to the lows. And same here as well. Finding some support here. Leg, channel break, new, low bullish bar, worked. That one worked as well. So a leg and a leg, perfect measured leg. You big longs trap there, and that one came down. But how easy is this to read? Now, granted, it's not always like that. But the thing about trading this slower chart, it's 5 times slower than 2000. It is so much more relaxing. Now, that might be down to the fact that I was trading on the sim. But I didn't take that one. I took 1, 2, 3, and that one 4. So I took 4 trades and they all worked. That one I marked, I didn't take it. And that one I marked, I didn't take it. But, you know, look how much slower this is, 5 times slower. So I'm not saying to go on to that. I'm saying maybe trade it as a second chart. Something a bit slower, or if you're finding, you know, when I learned to trade, I was told that not every style of trading suits every type of person. You know, some people are quite calm and methodical thinkers and can swing trade. Other people, maybe like me, are a little wired and need a little bit more faster moving action. And some people may suit a little bit slower than this, but more throughout the day, you know, in for trade for 20 minutes at a time or something. And I think it's trying to find something that suits you. Now, I remember listening to Penguin talking about this. He started trading Pats, but he found it was just too quick. It was stressing him out. It just couldn't make it work. So it doesn't suit everybody. But as we've heard Max say a million times, you can trade price action, Max system on any chart and any time frame. So, you know, don't feel if this is too quick for you, you're doomed. I ordered a book, Don't Believe Everything You Think. Yeah, that actually, there's a lot of... It's surprising how we can think and assume things, and we can end up quite paranoid as well, can't we? But I think any type of book or any type of education in this business is worthwhile. But yeah, I mean, if you're finding this difficult, try it on a slower time frame. Try it on the 4,000 tick chart or the 6. If you think, if you go up to the 4,000 tick chart, these bars effectively take twice as long. So they're a lot slower. So, and then same again, you move up to the 10,000 tick chart, 5 times slower. So you have a little bit more time to think. So if this is stressing you out too much, try a slower time frame. But, you know, trade the same patterns. Is Yan around today? Are you in, Yan, are you? I couldn't get something to work here. I was going to ask you a question. For some reason, when I opened the quick orders, and I had it on 5 contracts on the micros, it only opened 1 for some reason. When I manually did it, it opened 5. So, maybe a little bit. So, I mean, as I say, 2 legs up, strong move down, bearish bar. That is not the bad. I mentioned that earlier. That's not a bad place to go for more points if you can. I mean, that's gone down, what, 18 points. So, you know, micros help me deal with the stress much more forgiving. Yeah, they're more flexible, aren't they? I mean, I could go up if I'm on the minis and I want to go up a contract, I've got to double it. Now, if I'm on 5 here and I want to go up to 6, I'm only taking it up 20%. So it is more flexible. And you can trade micro runners on here as well. So 5 contract, I can have one as a runner if I want. So if you want to, you know, have a go at runners or experience some runners, that's not a bad idea. So, you know, they do say, I think they're a little bit more costly on the fees, but it's negligible. It's just not, you know, it's not worth thinking about, to be honest with you. It's negligible. But yeah, they are more forgiving. You know, if the ATR, you could have this set. So if the ATR's over 5, you could have 5. Or if the ATR's 4, you could, you know, do a little bit more. So I'm seeing a break and a new low. Yeah, there could be. My guess is, though, this thing is ranging, so I'm guessing it's probably going to test this area. Now, if you look at this midline, is it the midline? No, it's the open. We've bounced on this multiple times. So there'll be liquidity there and there. So my guess is this is probably going to go down. So, I mean, there could be a break. It's certainly worth paying attention to. But on your chart, that might be a full red bar. And if it is full or close to full, it would fit. And if I jump onto that, this is why it's another good idea to look at this as well. The 10,000 tick chart, look, fits. You know, liquidity there, and there's bound to be some there as well, isn't there? So my guess is it's probably going to come down. We've had this channel down. We've made 2 attempts to push higher, lower high. That's where I got in, but on the what's it, and it came down. That's typically a penguin style trade. 2 attempts that fails. And I kind of had it the other way. 2 attempts and a push up new high, and it didn't work. We went up twice and we just couldn't do it. So for me, this is going to clear this area. So, you know, even if you don't trade the 10,000 tick chart and just have it as a little visual, maybe something a bit clearer. I will say, when I listened to these affirmations earlier, I felt quite psyched up. I felt like I could go into a ring and have a punch up. You know, when you get keyed up. And when I had that loss, I felt quite okay, actually. It wasn't the smallest loss either. It was $250, which is a relatively sizey one, but I felt quite keyed up. So I think it'll maybe help me. I am going to bed listening to all sorts of hypnosis and weird and wonderful things. Just not cutting it. I'm going to have to chew on some power line. Get yourself some of this, bud. Get yourself some scotch. I no longer have 8 pints of blood in my system. 2 of them are scotch. Who knew? It works. No, it's not good habit to get into drinking while you're. It is. I've only got one double, which is equivalent of a pint of beer, so you can legally drive on that. So. We got any mixed martial arts fans? Are we in there anywhere? You watch any of the Paddy Pimblett fight? I know some people find it brutal. I did when I first started watching it 10 years ago. Get calmed by it. Or get careless. You're on about alcohol? Yeah. I mean, you can say it takes the edge off it, but it's not a habit to get into. You don't want to be using alcohol to take the edge off it. It's the wrong reason to use alcohol. I don't doubt it works, but it's not a good place to do it because the last thing you want to do is become reliant on it. No, it's not, no. I just have one once in a while. Well, most nights I'll have a single or a double. I say most nights, 5 nights a week. I've been drinking whiskey a lot longer than I've been trading. So I didn't start when I was trading. I did, I think the first time I opened a bottle on the stream, actually, it was a bottle of 12-year-old Balvenie. And I remember it clearly because a guy in the chat says, I've been watching you now for a year. He said, I've never said a word, but as soon as I heard that whiskey cork crack, I couldn't help but come forward. And I think I drunk, I don't know, a good chunk of it anyway. And I think I think there was 90% off evals at the moment, and I ended up losing 10 of them, one after another. So yeah, it's not good. It's not a good habit. I wish we'd have a discount. I mean, there is 40% off. $40 a reset. So if you've got blown accounts, you can reset for $40. And fortunately, because I had a few losses on Friday or Thursday, lost a few accounts, I was able to get a few. In fact, Friday I took. Not Friday. It was late last night. I took that there and passed evaluations. No, tell a lie. It was my other 2 accounts that I took. I took that there, big pull down, 2 attempts to push up, and I wrote that down. But I did pass some. I managed to get 3 of them, 80% off because I'd blown a few of them, and I fortunately passed all of them. 40% off first timers. I don't know, to be honest with you. I know if you've blown an account in the last week, you can reset it. I think it's the last week. I think over the last month, you can reset it for $40, which is about 77% off. So it's not terrible if you want to, so if you've got blown ones, just reset them for $40. That's not so bad. Now we have got support down here, so I would be cautious about taking a short just yet. Now, there is a possibility, as someone said, that we've already had a break, 2 pushes to a new low, so this may bounce. So I think it's certainly worth paying attention to that. Now, on the 10,000 tick chart, we haven't. So that may help my decision. I certainly wouldn't take anything just yet here. I'd want something a little bit better than that. Channel break, new high. I just don't like going short into there because every time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times we've bounced. So you've got to pay attention to that. They have gone longer and longer without offers, Apex. They went about 3 weeks with 50% off, which surprised me. So if this wasn't a break, this clearly is. Break. Small micro with a break and a new high. So there's higher lows in that. So I'd expect, oh, it has. I'd expect it to stop that out. Yeah, it has. Let's see what happens here. Every time we've been back here, since, well, for a while, we've pushed up here to get a 9% special offer. I thought about should I message them actually, but they might ban me. If they realise I only bring in the smallest amount of revenue compared to the other YouTubers, they might find, let's get rid of this moron. Mind you, no one's going to moan it. I might say actually, that the other free streamers I know, Patrick Whelan, Nutty, and who's the other? Alpine, hasn't he? Oh, Alpine and Nutty, they all had one together, didn't they? They all had one together. And trades by Matt. So all the other bigger YouTubers have had, but as I say, when I say bigger, they are a lot bigger than me. So I might message them and just say, look, they've had, any chance I can have one? Don't ask, you don't get. Oh, well, I'll message them. Well, I've got nothing to lose, have I? There was some around wealth charts. In fact, it was when the wealth charts offer was out, trades by Matt had a 90% off just for a few hours, I think. So, well, I think everybody, I know a load of people in my stream took that. I did as well. You can't, you know, some people won't allow you to post it on the stream, but how can you stop people? I even pick some up myself. Yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it? I mean, do you remember they had the 90% off an $85? What was it? 80% off an $85 PA fee. I think that was brilliant. I'd rather have 80% off and an $85 PA fee than 90% off an $125 PA fee. So we're going to finally break this. Looks like it. You just can't get in here. I've got nothing on my chart, in all fairness. Charts exited it. Yeah, I signed up for it, Chris, but I kept getting emails, but the trouble is, when I've been using this platform now for 4 years, near enough, and it doesn't make sense to move to something else when I've got that used to this. 50% off, free. Okay, I'm not going to argue with you there. I mean, the good thing is about having all these different offers from these different companies, the more people out there competing for our business, the cheaper things are going to become for us. And if you remember, maybe 6 months ago, Apex was talking about straight to PA. So if the price is right, you know, if it was $250, I probably would be more inclined to do that. Because I find evaluations a pain in the arse, to be honest with you. And if you could just pay $250 and move straight to it. Now, I only suggest you do that when you're making money. I wouldn't do that as a newer trader because you're going to get crippled financially. Stick to as cheap as possible. So, do you know what? I've got a thought process here. So we've got this move up. We've got a leg down with 2 pushes up and another leg down. So it'd be interesting to see whether this thing eventually has 2 legs and moves up. Or am I looking a bit too far into the future? I think I am, yeah. So we've cleared out. Any liquidity here is now gone. So is it going to come down and test these lows? Your guess as good as mine. I am going to message him later, actually, Apex, and just say, Matt, blah, 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 I've all had a 90% off just for them. Any chance I could have one? Don't ask, you don't get, do you? Worth a go. Trouble is, I'm small fry compared to them. Trouble is, we're a bit boring over here. When you got the likes of Patrick Whelan and Nutty, who's a little bit more lively than me. British guys are boring. We just, we are who we are, so I haven't got the interest. Well, the guy with less views than you had 90% off a bit ago for no reason. Perhaps they just asked for it. Can't hurt, can it? I'll message them after the stream, see what they say. Is there any chance I can have it for a day or half a day tomorrow? No harm in asking, is there? Perhaps they ask. I mean, at the end of the day, what I've heard in the past is never knock anybody on the way up, because you might just meet them on the way down. I could end up in the future being bigger than Patrick Whelan, trained by all of them put together. You never know. I might be really valuable to Apex in the future, and I think it's about time they realise that. I think. Or am I dreaming a bit? I think the chance of me being a big YouTuber, I think I got more chance of becoming a successful trader than that, I think. Exactly. So you know what I mean? You never know. More whiskey. Good point. More whiskey. So, we've finally broken below all this. Now we're pushing back to that EMA. Did anybody watch Suits when that was out? Do you know there's a Suits LA apparently now? I don't know if what's it's in it. One of the main characters, Harvey. Anybody seen it? About the charge of the Light Brigade. I used to love all those old films. I still watch Zulu, Once in a Blue Moon. Bridge Over the River Kwai, is it? I love the old military films, I do. Suits, yeah. Apparently there's a Suits LA out there, which I think it's out or it's coming out. No, I think it's out. Harvey's in it. And apparently the guy who plays Lewis Litton, there's going to be maybe one or two others making little cameo roles in it. So, yeah, I like Suits. I only watched it recently, maybe in the last sort of 8-10 months. I never watched it at the time. See, I'm going through, what's it again? Blacklist again, I am. I watched that about 3 times. Liz has just been exonerated at the moment, but she's not an FBI agent just yet. I love Raymond, the guy who plays Raymond Reddington. I think what a fantastic character that is. So, yeah, I'm watching that again. I caught the snap back up nicely. That there. Yeah, I mean, after that, you've got to think we're going to come back to that EMA, aren't you? At least test these lows here, but are we going to continue down? Who knows? Skinny ball bar. No Jan today. I guess he's off, is he? Or he's been in and gone. So channel with a small break, new low. Back up to the EMA. So is this going to test this area? I'm guessing probably. I might. In fact, it was one of my patented inverted beds. Going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be a second. Okay, channel break new high. There's no guarantees this is going to come down. See, looking at that 10,000 tick chart, we've got this big move up, 2 attempts to go lower. So there is always that possibility this could move up. It looks like a correction. Whether it is or not, I really don't know. But after we've picked off all this liquidity, I'm not necessarily in a hurry to go short here. My guess is this may push up here a little bit. And into the tax man, yeah, good luck with that, mate. Okay, so it is moving down. There's no entry really, to be honest with you. The bar is, well, Mac could call that in the bottom third. I'm just a bit unsure, to be honest with you. Wow, down again. Would you believe it? Okay. Well, you don't know that's going to come down there. Just looks like a range day so far, really. There's nothing more I can say about that, really. It is frustrating to see all that big move down there, but you never know what it's going to do. I mean, even if I'd have, look at that. Oh, 40 odd points. God, what I wouldn't give for half of that. So, who was it said they're heading for the gap? Ah, okay, yeah, it was US, wasn't it? I know someone said heading for the gap. So, so I think it's about there, isn't it? I think there's a tiny little wick on it, I think. Yeah. Okay, so okay, so below the lows and there where that gap is. God, it's frustrating, isn't it, seeing all that big. You know what? I wonder if there is a bigger channel there. There may well be, you know. Well, look at that. You took it for my first 10 ticks. Good on you, mate. So look, what is everybody else thinking? Okay, Thomas Wade's got that as a channel. Go up a bit. I know it looks terrible, does it? So I'll look at Dan, see what he's got. Yeah, see, Dan's got it as a break. Well, that was a while ago. Oh no, he's got it all in one now, so that's comforting. Well, so far, I'm trying to take my trading one day at a time. So far, I'm pleased with what I've done. Now, that did go a bit. It didn't hit me profit, but I did the sensible thing when it started chopping and get out for break even. But that was the one I took. To be honest with you, it's a bit too choppy. It did come down, but nowhere near enough. It's a bit choppy. The reason I took it is because I thought it looks a bit choppy here, but on a smaller chart, it might not look as choppy, but it didn't work anyway. But, you know, fair enough. I kept me cool and I came back, waited for a nice setup. It's always nicer if you're trapping long. So channel break, new low, you've got a bullish bar there and a higher low there. So once that starts to come down, you're going to think it's going to break the bottoms, and it did what I expected it to do. So I thought that was okay. So that one, I shouldn't have really taken that. It's a bit too choppy, and I'm trading that right in the middle. Now, normally that would have made what I normally go for, 3 points. So that, where did I take it there? So that, it made, well, you'd have certainly easily got 7.5 points off it. But I think I'm going for a little bit more at the moment, aren't I? I think I got in there. I forget what I'm going for at the moment. 5 or 6 points. Why didn't it work? I don't know. No, okay. I didn't leave it there. It when it came back, I got out of it here for break even. I didn't give it a chance to go to the lows. So I got in about there. So no, it wouldn't have hit me points. Eventually, when it came back twice more, but I think when it came back the second time, I got out for break even. But then it did go down. It would have given me 5 points, but it's one of those things, isn't it? Okay, second entry short there. Not sure about that. Let's see if we get a lower high. It hasn't quite ticked above there for me, see. Yeah, it didn't tick above there. So for me, well, it did what it was supposed to. Came back to the EMA, but it didn't tick above there. So there's the second entry short, which is no good, to be honest with you. You can't consider that a second entry short. On my chart, it may have looked a bit different on yours, but to the lows, there's comfortably 6 points or whatever you go for. Yeah, Dan didn't take it. He's just unsure about the wider channel. It's whether you think that's part of the channel or not. It's not that you could get it wrong. But, I mean, even if you got it like that, surely then we've got a different channel working down. So that does look okay. So maybe it's just this leg up and then down. So that actually doesn't look too bad, to be honest with you. He has got it down as the whole thing. It looks slightly different on his chart. No, it looks okay. Just not sure about that. It didn't tick higher. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's done the same on his, more or less the same. Didn't tick higher, so a bit risky that. Better to wait for the lower high, which unfortunately we didn't get. Okay. Let's see if we get below this. So this pretty much just ranging, isn't it, today? Look at that, right to the bottom. If only we knew that was going to happen. Look at that. Oh, my good night. So I wouldn't be buying there. Often that will trigger and come and stop it out. It looks like what it's going to. It may hold because it's at the bottom, but no, it hasn't. So, lows of the day. And the gap up from Friday. So, we've broken the lows of the day. I'll be surprised if it doesn't fill that gap. It may come back here a little bit first. Okay, we're about 7 or 8 points away, aren't we? So it'll be interesting to see what happens when it fills that gap. As we've had this channel overshoot, if it does fill it, I can see a strong push up. Mind you, there is liquidity here, so it may clear some of this first. Who knows? ATR's getting better. Smooth gap fill on my chart. It hasn't been filled. Let me have a little look. Let's flick over to the S2000 tick chart. Glad to see that. No, we're not quite there yet. We're a few points away. There is a higher low there, so I think it's likely we get back to that EMA. Channel break, new low, bullish bar, higher low. Small overshoot, that looks like to me. Well, actually, not sure. Yeah, it's just hard to go short here, really. Maybe a bit of an overshoot there. So channel break, new high, bullish bar, bearish bar, sorry. Just can't get into that, unfortunately, at the moment. We cleared out that liquidity there. If this is ranging, it could be a failed breakout, which means it might go up. There's no guarantees it's going to fill that gap. At some point, it quite likely will, but get a lower high, that might not be a bad option. So depending on how you look at this, we've got a channel, break new high. You've got to be so careful. You might get stung here. Trouble is, because this is ranging, we break below there. You've got to be so careful. It could come up, bounce, test this, and have another leg up. So it's just too risky going short there. It's like to get big numbers. Yeah, you're about round numbers, yeah. Or even numbers, what do you want to call them? It's hard to say here. We've had quite a strong push up there, so I think that's vulnerable. So I'm not necessarily thinking about shorts here. Unless we had a kind of a proper bounce, 2 legs. Actually, the 2000 tick chart looks okay. Doesn't trigger though. This actually doesn't look too bad. That is a second entry short. 2 legs up. Trouble is the 42 tick bars. It's just way risky, isn't it, taking that? That would be a second entry short. Something about it, I don't, it isn't working anyway. I have 9 on the go and 3 coming tomorrow. Seven of them around the, well, they were around the, most of them around the 2600 or just 2500, slightly lower. Okay, excuse me just a second. tempting, but it's in the middle of this chop, so that could push up to here and take out shorts there. So it's just way risky, that, taking a short there. I'm leaving it alone. It's just choppy. If you look at this picture here, the short there is right in the middle. So not for me. For me here at the moment, it's 8 minutes past 5 in the afternoon. It's just chop, 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 chop. Yeah, I love most of the time. See, obviously, there's a slight variation when the clocks go forward and back, but usually 2:30 is the main train time. I get to the charts about 2 o'clock and just set everything up and just make sure everything's working, make a cup of tea, so on and so forth. But yeah, no getting up stupid o'clock in the morning, dark, cold morning, and none of that. Gone dark again. I'm going to have a play around with this. It's a bit better. Come on then. Come on. Up. Come on. Oh, good. Oh, that's very nice. Oh, thank you. Down here. Yeah, it's just risky. It's getting a bit choppy. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a leg up, correction, leg up. Nice to see us fill this gap. I mean, that's kind of as low as we go, isn't it? Just not interested there, really. I think it would probably work, but you don't know, do you? There we go. Clearly worked. It's just too far. We're right at the bottoms. You never quite know. So, gap filled. Beautifully done. So, in all fairness, if I bring that like that, touch, touch, close enough, touch, small break, new low. See, I think, I'm looking at someone else's charts. Even the 10,000 tick chart showing a small break, actually. So like, touch, close enough, touch, 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 small break, and then down. So, we'll see. Now, there is liquidity down here, isn't there? So whether it'll clear some of this off, out the way or not, I don't know. Definitely some across there. The initial lower high after the failed second entry long or mini second entry short, however you want to look at it. Nice, but prices never come back. Yeah, I mean, this is certainly looking like it's tipping, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, the trouble is, prices never come back. Yeah, so perhaps it was okay to take that. I mean, we've cleared out maybe a little bit of liquidity there, but they look quite strong. Trouble is, you just never know. We've come down and we've had a bounce, but we're at the lows. Like Max says, you kind of need some space to the lows, and if you're getting a tick below, you got nothing. Not even a quarter of a point, really. So I just couldn't bring myself to do it, although, you know, I think there's a good chance that'll happen. Not the one at the bottom, the one really nice looking bull bar before that. Are you on about that one there? Breakout pullback. Okay, yeah. So now we fill the gap at the EMA. Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I am hard about that. My only issue is if you look at this bit here, you're kind of shorting right in the middle of it. It always makes me wary of that because you've got liquidity there and probably there and there. So move back. You don't know when we're going to have two legs up. So it just makes me wary about that because it is stuck in the middle of this. You know what I mean? But what I will say is, yeah, there's a failed second entry short there and you've got longs there. So, you know, I get what you're saying. I just get kind of wary when it's in the middle of chop. Where's this thing going now? We ended up going back into this range or pushing up. What I will say is we look like we've had a break and a new low. So second entry short here, maybe trap some shorts to go long. There's going to be a ton of liquidity up here. You can guess that. So channel break new high. Now I'm not thinking of shorts at the moment because we filled the gap and we've had quite a strong move back up. You're going to have a lot of liquidity there. Three, 4 points in a blink of an eye. Yeah. So I wouldn't be thinking about going short here. My guess is it's going to clear some of this out. So quick pop up there, cleared out some of this liquidity. So that one's still there. That's gone as well. So is this now moving up? Certainly could be. Okay, strong buy bar, strong buying bar. Is this going to push up? It is kind of a leg and a leg, so you never quite know. I'm not massively convinced this thing's on its way up permanently now. Could have a couple of attempts and it could come down some more, who knows. So I'm just sitting tight at the moment. It's just too far from the EMA there, but it is off the key entry point, so... Devon, how you doing, buddy? Not morning to me. It's 5:25 in the afternoon. Afternoon, yeah, afternoon, absolutely. See, if this is a channel, it's a bit early to already have a break. Okay, channel with a break, new low. Let's just chop here, a bit congested. Could come down, take out that. Could push up, take out that. I mean, there is a possibility that this could be part of the channel. In fact, it certainly could be. Trouble is, it's a bit too early to get in here because we could have a leg and another leg. If this is all part of the same, it doesn't look terrible. Yeah, I've got a, well, if you look at that, it's very, very slightly at a break. You know, it's a bit hard to say, isn't it? The trouble is, usually it'll be short. If it has had a small break, usually it'll be short, so it'll get trapped here, and this thing may push up. So I'm just not sure at the moment. Sometimes when I think it is a small break, it's going to push up. It does the complete opposite. And other times when I move it out and go short here, you know what I mean? It pushes up. So you're damned if you do and damned if you don't sometimes. I mean, to have a channel up here and to already have a break when we've only had two little legs, it's telling me it just hasn't got the manpower. It hasn't got the leg power to get up. So my guess is, well, set an entry short. I'm not so sure about this. There's going to be liquidity there. I wouldn't have gone long there really because it's congested. But if anybody did, there's going to be liquidity there. So I wouldn't be shocked if it does take that out. So I'm just unsure at the moment. This thing could come back. But with a big move down there, if that is involved within that channel, we could have, you know, something like this, a leg and a leg, you know what I mean? Which means it could push up some more, but areas like that are vulnerable. And there we go. So it's just hard to say. So 1 minute you're thinking, you know, break new low, and now we're moving up, and then all of a sudden we have two legs up, and the thing is straight now below the EMA again. So it's not that easy sometimes. I mean, that looks like a break of this. That is arguable. You can adjust that ever so slightly, and it still fits perfectly there and perfectly there. And now 1, 2, 3 perfectly there. So, you know, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's hard to say. You can see both sort of, you know, both areas. Let's have a look. Yeah, so Thomas Wade's got it as a very small break. Now, I think that's the sensible thing to do, but to me, it doesn't look like it. Especially now all of a sudden we're below the EMA, but I think the best thing to do is just assume it has and just leave it at that. And what can you do? I mean, with a small channel like that and all of a sudden we're out this much, it's hard to say. But we could push up and bounce here and then off we rocket. It could be, mate. Yeah, I was just looking at that. We've had a couple of bounces, so You know, we could have something like that, couldn't we? It's hard to say. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be a second. I don't really want to go short here because if this is a break from the channel, we could get somewhere. I can't move it now. We could get, you know, something like that. So 2 legs down, there's a higher low there. So let's see if this gets triggered and comes down. It's a good solid buying bar there. So if that triggers and comes down and it gets stopped out, this thing's going to drop. Yeah, I've got it on earbud. The only trouble is I'm going for 5 contracts at the moment. So if I click buy and down
Order
here,
submitted.
it only opens 1 if you can see the 1 in there for some reason. So I'm not sure why. Whereas if I close that
Order
and I do
canceled.
it manually,
Order submitted.
it's showing 5. So I just wanted to have a chat with Jan first
Order
and find
cancelled.
out why it's doing it. But I do like it. It's so much quicker. But yeah, for some reason, I've got 5 in my order here, but it's just not doing what I think. So I might have some in the settings. So I was hoping Yana Beer, he may have traded and finished early. So we got a leg up. We've kind of got 2 legs here. So this still may come down. So I do like it, actually. Yeah, I don't know why. You know, if you go into the settings, and do that, I can't see where I've got to put in the amount. I've put my account there. I've got it on MES, but usually it shouldn't matter how many contracts you do. Your contracts normally are dictated by, you know, how much you got in your order there. So I'm not sure. So I was going to have a chat with Jan about that and find out. It might be something obvious I'm doing, but which ATM I am using? My one that I've got as custom, I think. Have I got that as custom? Oh, that might be the problem. New setup. I haven't got it as custom, see. That's why, I think, isn't it? Okay. Right. I think I've just figured it out. Custom. So I've adjusted this slightly. So if I save it as template, it's custom. It work now. So, edit strategy. Oh, I got that as custom. New setup. Should have custom here. Okay, so let's see if that works. So hopefully, buy, boom.
Order submitted.
5. Yes, excellent. It's working. So that's it.
Order
I'd had the
cancelled.
wrong strategy. It's a custom. Fantastic. Well done, Sean. Well done. So, right, I'm just going to bring in the 10,000 tick chart. So this channel, this may be the first break. In other words, you may have 2 legs up. Now, I can adjust that a little bit tighter, which says we've had a small break, but I'm just not sure about that. The way this isn't pushing up to me like it's reversing. Took the fail second entry short. Yeah, I think that, well, I'm mixed feelings. We didn't get up very far when we had a break in a new low, which telling me, is this really a break? Are we just making 2? Now, if you go back about 10, 15 minutes ago, I had that on the chart. So there's a possibility that this may be in this channel and we're having a couple of pushes up, because if this was going to reverse and come into here, it would push up a lot more. And in all fairness, if it's ranging, it would push up and bounce on top of here if it was going to go up, but it's struggling to go up for me. So my gut feeling is this is more like 2 attempts to push up. Now, I could be completely wrong, but my gut feeling is this isn't a break and a new low. So, but we'll see. This to me, because they're quite sideways apart, this is more of a correction. That's my gut feeling. I'm not necessarily going to trade it that way. Yeah, it's a tough one, really, isn't it? I mean, that doesn't, if it is a break, it's just not very convincing move up, really, is it? The channel down, made a high low. Yeah, I've just got mixed feelings at the moment. See, as I say, the 10,000 tick chart, if you look at that, it depends on the chart. It kind of may fit, and then we've got 2 attempts. In which case we may come down. So I'm a bit on the fence here as to know exactly what I think. There's 2 options, but we have a little push up here and a break. Then we have 1, 2 legs. In fact, oh yeah, I just got to sit here and just kind of try and figure out what I'm looking at. My bar's looking up. Yeah, I'm on the micros, mate. I'm on the MES. I'm trading 5 contracts on the MES purely because the risk's too much at the moment. Once that risk gets back to around about 4, I'll change. But yeah, that's why this is the 2000 tick chart up top. So this is my second chart. So I don't know. Is that a break? It's hard to say. There could be a second entry short here, so I'm a bit mixed feelings about this. Sorry, that's the 10,000 tick chart, my mistake. But yeah, I mean, even trading 1 contract, your risk's going to be about $300. It could be significant more. That's just too much for me. Channel break, new high, lower high. That's very tempting.
Order submitted.
Back to the EMA. Trouble is, there's not much space to the lows. I might sit this one out, I think.
Order cancelled.
Channel break, new high, bearish bar, lower high. But it's not triggered, is it? We push up, go sideways, and it looks like 2 legs there, doesn't it? I mean, there is a lower high there. I expected it to get back to the EMA. There's just not much space. So I'm going for, I mean, look at that. I'm going for like, what am I going for? 5-6 points at the moment. It's just, that's if we get one, mate. I mean, we've pushed up, we've bounced here and bounced here and bounced here. So, you know, we could get a second leg up. It's hard to say at the moment. That would be a failure, wouldn't it? So I'm glad I left that. Just wasn't enough space at the EMA. It did more or less get there within reason, but trouble is we could get a leg and a leg. Just can't take nothing here. There's going to be some liquidity there, you can bet you. So I wouldn't be shocked if it does push up. That's interesting.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Push up, 2 legs back, bullish bar. Oh, you are kidding me. It's getting a bit choppy now. Come on, push, 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 push. There's going to be loads of liquidity here. Come on. I like the push. We got 2 legs back. Big strong bar off the key entry point. Come on, push-itty push. Looks like there's shorts trapped on the 10,000 tick chart, so I think it's worth going for. It's going to be shorts trapped there and there. Come on, push up. Come on. Leg and a leg. Should push up now, hopefully. I'm leaving it there. I'm not sure about this. It's trapped that long. See if it holds.
Order filled.
Okay, I'm just not sure. It may be a 1, 2, 3 and then down, so it's just not worth the risk. I thought it was going to blast out through there then. So 1, 2, 3, triple test. Once it trapped that long there and started to work back, that's why I put my stop there. It's just not worth it. That is a triple test now, isn't it? Trouble is a leg and a leg. I'm kind of hoping we get a second leg, a leg and a leg.
Order
Okay,
submitted.
taking a trade on the 10,000 tick chart. This to me looks like it's going to push up. Let's bring it in. Got on it triggered there, so I got on a limit order. If we can get above this, it should have a push. It's not a huge risk, so I don't mind. Come on, push up. Oh. I just don't like the way it flicked back there. I'm getting out of this.
Order
Small
filled.
loss. Now that is a triple test.
Order submitted.
One, two, three. Oh, you are kidding me. Come on. Second entry short. It's a triple test. I think it's a nice setup. 1, 2, 3. Clearly a triple test. Come on, push right down. Come on, push down, you bugger. There's going to be stops there. There's bound to be stops there. There we go.
Order filled.
Beautiful. Finally, I'm in the green. Thank God for that. Okay, so I love that trade. The other one I got out just right. Let me just disconnect, connect. I was tempted to hold on there. That's about as good as triple test as you get. Finally in the green a little bit. Everything's done, I think. 1, 2. So I think that's in there, to be fair. So we had 2 legs up, made 2 more attempts up, trapping longs. What I got out of that, I realised what was happening. I got out of it for a small loss on that second trade. And that was the money shot, that one. And look at it go. Nice triple test, just goes so well. I was tempted to hold on there, but there you go. We push up. We have 2 attempts to go higher. Triple test. Nice. I wasn't watching, but I hope you had taken that one. Yeah. I realised what was happening. It just couldn't get above there. It is kind of... Whenever I see these, I go, I wish I'd have waited and held. But the trouble is, when you're in the red, you kind of want to just get some points and not be too greedy. I mean, look at this, 10 points. 13 points, sorry, and I'm pretty sure it's going to break below there. That's about as good as it looks. 1, 2, 3. It's not going to come back and get that before it pushes down and makes a new low, or has a good attempt at a new low. And the way that's been selling off there, those are vulnerable for sure. And usually those triple tests just work beautifully and work quick. But at least I'm back in the green. So if you're patient and don't get too stressed and panicky, I skipped it and feeling silly. Mate, I'll tell you something, don't ever feel silly. If you're not sure, don't take it. That is the simple answer. Don't worry. It never bothers me about missing a trade. If you're not sure, always wait. It doesn't matter. I see Dan taking dozens of trades that I leave because one, maybe his skill level's above mine, or, you know, for whatever reason. But don't feel silly about not taking something, mate. I'd have more respect for you as a trader leaving a trade if you're not sure. So no, don't worry about that, mate. Definitely not. So let's put that down there. So that worked really nice. Clear triple test. You're going to have loads of longs in here. I jumped in long on the other one, but got out. Minus 3 or 4 ticks. I realised what was going on. That 10,000 tick chart, I think, it's a bit tricky to trade, so I'm not going to trade it. I'm just going to use it as just as a bit of an example. What I did, I'll tell you what I did. On here, that looks like a break, and we pushed up, we came back, and we had a higher low there, yeah? So I'm thinking there's going to be shorts here, and it triggered above it. As soon as it started to come back, I realised what was going on, so I just jumped out of it for a few tick loss. And then I noticed as soon as I saw that on this side, trapping everything and coming down, that's when I decided to just get out of it quick and come down. But I'm going to leave this one, I think. I've tried to trade it a couple of times today, and both the trade I lost earlier That one there I ended up losing on. And the long there I took a small, nothing, it was only a few ticks. But in all fairness, both trades I've taken on here, that one, really nice trade, that one, both worked beautifully. So if I'd have stuck to these two, I'd have been up. Well, I am up, but I'd have been up considerably more. Christ, is that the time already? 6 o'clock. What time is it? Oh, crikey, it's FOM. FOM's. Oh, it's only Waller speaking, isn't it? So, at least I'm nicely up anyway. Green's green. I'm happy with that, considering I was down $250 or whatever initially. So it just goes to show if you're patient and not let it get to you too much. So today it's worked nicely. I did those affirmations today and I didn't feel panicked and a rush to get into when I took a loss, which is a good signal. So perhaps these affirmations are helping me a bit. So triple test. So let's change this a bit. Low trade. Yeah. So those were nice. I've been in the 10,000 tick chart. It's not great all the time. So load. So channel down with a break and a low. I still think we're going to come down and test these lows. Having said that, we could just range. So a second entry short would interest me, but after that strong push down from there, it makes perfect sense that this just turns down. What I will say is the 10,000 tick chart's got a lower high there. I don't think that's that bad, actually. But I haven't had much luck with this today, so I'm just going to stay out of this, I think. I'm green today, so let's just keep that as a result. I like the downtrend. I'm going to break new low myself. I could be wrong. Yeah, I mean, even sometimes, even if we have a break in a new low, sometimes it'll still make attempts to push up and it'll still come down. So, you know, it's one of those things. In fact, if I bring in Dan's recent chart, which, wow, it was 45 minutes ago, this one. So let's have a look. It's not, let's have a look. So he's done that from there now. So he's got a break there. She pushes. So it's not an exact science, this, is it? So, you know, sometimes, okay, so we've got this news coming up. It is Waller speaking, so I don't expect it to work. But I'm kind of done today. I'm quite pleased with what I've got, so I'm just going to consider myself lucky and just leave it at that. But yeah, I mean, there may still be a break and a new low, and then we could still make a couple of attempts, and that's it. But I'm not sure whether there is or not. You know, you can argue both. I wouldn't call that a considerable break anyway, or certainly not an obvious break. If you put it there, depending on where you bring this to, if you put it to the top there, we got a touch there, touch there, touch there. You know, we can adjust this thing till it fits. And that's a break. We got a sort of a leg up. We made a bunch of attempts here and it failed and a push down, and we came back to the EMA straight away, down again. So where's it going? You'd expect it to clear these areas out, and if it does that, it's probably going to make a new low, or it could go 1, 2, 3 and bounce up, or we could just continue to range. But after that and the break, I wouldn't be thinking about going long here, because I think my gut feeling is I'm expecting a new low, so it doesn't mean it can't whip up and down before. Hidden second entry long. Yeah. I wouldn't be thinking about going long here because there's going to be liquidity that, wow, look at that. Oh my God. Oh my God. So that's the news. I didn't expect that. FOMC Wallace speaks. It's only medium impact. Bloody hell. Wow. Oh, would you believe it? Well, I never saw that coming. You've got to be so careful with that medium impact news. I mean, if you'd have taken that or held there to break these lows, that would have come out and stung you. You got a long second entry. Just when that happens. It's nice when it works in your favour, isn't it? But if you'd have gone short there and maybe had your stop there, you wouldn't have got much. But mind you, there is news, but it's Wallace speaking. Usually doesn't do that. FOMC Wallace speaking. One, usually they're late, and two, it doesn't usually get affected like that when they're speaking. But FOMC, yeah, he's only usually speaking, isn't he? It doesn't usually, you know. So where are we now? 3.5 hours. It's 6 o'clock UK time. So I think I'm done, folks. So I appreciate you keeping me company today. Hopefully you've had a trade or two. Hopefully green. So there you go. I'll love you and leave you. So I'll be back again tomorrow. So I feel a bit better today, actually. I've sat patiently. I was down initially and I didn't panic. And I carried on. Unfortunately, we turned out green. It could have been the other way around. Sometimes it's just the way it is. But there you go. So I will leave you guys to it. Best of luck if you're carrying on trading. Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. Have a great evening. Stay safe and we'll catch up same time tomorrow. Bye for now.